And thank you for listening. This is going to be a very hot room. We're talking about what SEO agencies won't tell you unless you ask. That's a very interesting part, right? It's quite exciting if you really ask me that question, because there's some things that you probably may not know that need to be asked, so that when they're asked, they're also delivered and the right information is given. There has to be some type of connection, right? It's not just for building's sake. There has to be something that we have to do long term. Welcome, Liverpool. Welcome, David. Good morning. Thank you for. This is going to be a hot topic. How are you? Good afternoon, Liverpool. What's going down?
Good morning, good afternoon from enjoying the day, but it's rather bleak and melancholy. Over the last couple of days, it's been really, really cold. I'm looking forward to this room. Actually, I just come out of breakfast with the champions as well. That was a really, really good room, and learned a lot from there, and it was quite empowering as well. So that's where I just came out of and was looking forward to this room. So yeah, back over to you, babe. I hope you're doing well as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing well. I've had a couple of meetings this morning. It's been a very exciting day, exciting time, just making good connections with good people. So it's been really nice. Learning a lot of new things too, and just trying to see like where are we going with social media, with SEO, with all these things. There has to be some type of connection, right? And all these connections have to do with questions that are asked in between time. So I felt like, hey, why not come here to Clubhouse and help people understand questions that people are asking, and some insight they can actually take home and understand the value, and that can also give you, long-term success. So I think this is going to be one of those great rooms that you would take insight and also learn from, right? You will learn from that and grow from that, because when you grow every day, you're able to understand the experiences you go through, and you're able to also understand where that takes you to long term, especially when you understand the answers to those questions. So this is going to be a hot topic. What SEO agencies won't tell you until you ask, right? And the reason why I have this up is because a lot of questions are asked on a frequent basis, right? And on this frequent basis, there's always an attachment involved. There's always, oh, okay, can we do this? How can this work? Can this work well? Can this do this? Can this do that? You have to think about the long-term effect. What is the long-term plan? What is the long-term goal? How are we building these things, and what are people connecting with you on for? If somebody is going to do your marketing, how are they going to do your marketing in a way that would actually get you the results you're looking for? Because SEO agencies there are a lot of them. They are a lot of them, right? There are so many. I'm just going to put mine here at the top. And because we're also a SEMrush agency partner, I'd love for you to also have a look at this and just, see the other agencies. Don't just look at mine, because we do more than SEO. We go beyond that. SEO is just the major piece, but there's really more to that. So if you look at this link and you click on it, check the other agencies, see what they do, check them out. That's why I'm giving you an open book today. Welcome. I got to see you guys. Welcome, Jason, and also welcome, America Supermom. Good to have you guys here. Good morning, and it's a pleasure to have you in the room today, and all of you in the audience. Hey, America Supermom, how have you been? Good morning. It's been a while.
It has. Good morning. I am headed here in a few minutes into a meeting. So I have to get in the car and drive for a little bit. And I thought I'd pop on to hear all the gems that you're always dropping. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for being here with us today. And excited that we have this topic because I didn't know how people were going to take this topic, but I felt like it's part of my listings that I've set up for getting people to understand some concepts, because I always talk about, top of funnel, let you know what is this, how is this working. Sometimes I don't even give you verses unless it's more commercialized, and sometimes I do that. So like today's room is going to be something close to that, because there's some questions that you need to ask your SEO agencies. You need to ask them what they've done, right? Because those are the starting points of you understanding even what you're getting or what you're receiving, right? I've talked about this before too. People wonder how much does SEO cost. It depends. It really depends, because if you want to rank in 5 countries and your competitor is only focusing on one, and your competitor is paying more than you are, then you have to think about the goals, and what the buildings are saying. What are they building into your content, your data, your layers? All those things have to be very much so calculated, so that when you are connecting with the people who are working with you, you get to know what you're paying for, right? What is a good price per month to pay for SEO? People ask, right? The standard, according to the standard, you can Google this. It's a worldwide standard, and the number can be very subjective. So don't just look at one number and pin it on the wall. Anywhere between $500 to $5,000 going up per month is what you could potentially pay anyone that does good SEO. And the 500 is not even like, it's not to the top, but it gets you on your way to the top, if that makes sense. So if you really want to start benchmarking, I would say start from 1,000 up if you're budgeting, because if you're doing 500, it's kind of like, okay, let's just see how this goes. And then when it goes, then you come back and do another 500, than just doing a whole 1,000 and getting you set up, getting you correct. And that's why we have budget per project is 1,000 to 25,000 plus. Now, the project duration of SEO is also another big thing you have to ask. Ask the people who are doing SEO for you, how long do you guys work? Do you guys work month to month? Do you work quarter over quarter? Do you work day by day? Is it week over week? Do we have meetings? Do we not have meetings? Who is on your team? How does your team work? Those things will be very interesting to look at. And Liverpool, yes, because I wanted to ask you about that room. So when you're back, please let me know. So you have to look at the numbers and ask yourself, what are you investing in? Because SEO is not, welcome Paris, SEO is not, SEO is not it's not a one-time fixed thing, because there's this illusion of SEO being it's like this genie that just comes and wipes your problems away and then you rank all day. It's not like that, right? That's going to happen regardless, because how you know you have traffic is because you have people. If there are no people, there's no traffic. So how you know you have traffic is because there are people interested in what you're talking about. It's that simple. So I don't want you to think SEO is this whole algorithm. Yes, it's technical, but the fundamental value of SEO is to connect. So if you're not connected to the source, if you're not connected to Google, you're not connected to Yahoo, you're not connected to Alexa, you're not connected to Yellow Pages, you're not connected to YouTube, you're not connected. How are you going to reflect if you're not connected? Because what you want to reflect to the people is not even connected to the source you're connecting from, because the source in itself is not even connected to you. So how are you even going to create those responsibilities for yourself, for your business? Welcome, Cuckoo. Welcome to Room. So you have to look at your business long term and ask yourself, what am I paying for? What am I paying for? Am I paying for data? Am I paying for leads? Am I paying for branding? Am I paying for sales? Am I paying for marketing? Am I paying for partnerships? What am I paying for? And The thing that I've noticed the most is when people want to, I've been seeing this over and over and over and over and over and over again for years now. I've noticed that somebody would want to do something online, make impact, but they wouldn't want to change how the impact looks from the inside. In other words, if they want to make a change outside their house, they have to look good from the house, right? So before you leave your house, you have to look good, smell good, feel good, do good, be good, and then you go out and be great, right? Because people want to see you be great too. But before you even go outside or step out your house or drive or kickstart your car, before you even make a move, you've thought about what you're about to do. You know what address you're going to, you know how you're going to drive there, you know exactly what you're going to say. You may not know how you're going to say it, but you may know exactly what's going to happen just because you want to set the mood, right? So if you're setting the mood online and you're looking for SEO agencies to help you, the goal should be asking them, what have they done for others? What have they opened? What have they created outside their own scope? Because sometimes you might do SEO and you're just doing it for yourself, right? Another very specific question that a lot of people don't ask, this one I'm going to dwell on this for a little bit, is that not every SEO agency, right? Not every SEO agency can work in every industry. Some can work in all, some may not have the capacity to. Not because they can't, but because of the depth of field or the type of information they're actually learning about this platform. SEO is open. Like for us, we work with every industry, right? Because we're open to all. But when we're now specific to whoever is coming to need that information from us, right? Then that changes everything. Because now we know, okay, you're coming here for health, you're coming here for real estate, you're coming here for food. Those are things that are different. When we build websites from scratch. So if we're building a healthcare site, we're building it because we know that people that are going to come to these pages need these services. If we're building an aesthetics page or an aesthetics, business, we do that. If we're building a coaching business, we're building that. If we're building a food, a vegan or a restaurant, type setup, then we're building those things, right? So when you're building that with SEO agencies, ask them, if they've built for those kind of industries. If they have, let them show you those websites, right? Let them show you exactly how they've built them. And SEO agencies don't stop at blogging, right? I don't want you to just think of blogging and think that, okay, blogging, that's SEO. Yeah, that's part of SEO. It's like, how do I say this? This is going to sound really, really interesting for you to look at, right? If I'm an author of a book and you read my book, you can read my book back to back, cover to cover, get the whole thing. You can even recite it, right? You can dream it, right? But that book is not going to tell you everything about my life. I've given you a part of it. I've given you a portion of it. So you don't know the full picture yet. You may never know the full picture, or the more you know, the more you don't, right? Welcome, Minnie. When you are creating a responsive system online, people don't know your brand. They don't know your business. They know they have a problem, but they don't know who's going to solve the problem. They might know who's going to solve the problem, and that's what's going to make them find out who else other than you can solve my problem. That's essentially what SEO is. I have a problem. I'm going to look, I'm going to search. I have this condition. I have this need. I have this question. I have this suggestion. These are the things that we need to look out for. Boom, have them there. The next minute, you answer those questions, the next thing follows up. So when you're connecting with businesses, agencies, your goal is to find out from them how they've been able to conduct their business. What do they have? What do they connect with? Do they even connect to search engines? Do they have a team? Are they by themselves? Because you can say, hey, we're an SEO agency and it's just one. it happens, right? For us, we're a team of 21, right? We have 12 AI assistants, and we have 9 of us, including myself. So there are 8 other people, right? So we are all working together to help businesses thrive. So you talk to me, and then my team ends up coming on board, and we connect. And I'll tell you, these are the number of people we are, right? Because I want you to also know that it's not just me working, because you might think, oh, it's just Favour in the background. No, there are other people smarter than me in the background who are working. We just signed a contract with someone that's working with us now. She's from South Africa, and we connected on LinkedIn. She found my content on LinkedIn, sent me a message, and we're now connected, and she's working with us. So she's officially working with us now. So 21 people, or 21, I can say 21 workforce, let me put it like that, because it's collaborative, is allowing us to do tasks like SEO audits. I can't remember the last time I audited somebody's website and went page to page to page to page. I can do that. I do that for my own understanding, just to get a base. But when I'm getting the report, I'm using my AI assistant to do that, because I've already installed the capacity for them to understand how I work, how we make business done. So that way I don't have to regurgitate what I'm saying, because it's already available for me in AI print. So doing those things allows you to understand what you're working on, right? Ask SEO agencies, do they have AI components? Do they work with people? Are they by themselves? What is their marketing stack? How do they onboard? Do they have a package? How are their packages laid out? Do they have tiers? Is it just one size fits all? Are there customized packages? And then in those packages, are there other things as well? Right? Because SEO is not just, oh, we build your website and that's it, right? We can build your website. We can build a whole website that looks great. But if that thing is not connected to the search engine, it's not a website. It's like, I don't want to call it anything, because I don't even know what the name would be. But essentially it's like, let me put it this way. Let me just put it like this. I think this would be the perfect example, because I love being very graphic with the example, so that you can see the analogy and also demystify what SEO could really be. So imagine you're building a house, right, on a plot of land, right? You own this plot, you have the title deed, this is your land, this is your property, right? Now, there's no house on this property, it's just plot, it's just land, it's just surface. Now, you're building a house, like, let's say 0.5 miles away on another person's plot, which means you're on a Wix.com site, you're on a Squarespace.com site, you're on a WordPress site, you're on a server, you're somewhere in the ethos, right? You're somewhere in the atmosphere, and you're creating something really good. It's really happening. You're like, oh, this is about to be a utopia, right? Now, the problem is, this house doesn't have an address. It's on Wix, it's on Squarespace, it's on WordPress, it's on Big Commerce, it's on Duda. I'm just giving you guys names of websites. It's on Tilda. It's on different platforms. Tilda is a Russian fast-built website. It's really nice. Tilda.cc. And then Duda.com is a fast one from the US. It's also AI incorporated. There's Gamma. Like, I can give you names on top of names, because we work with these businesses daily. So when you look at these platforms, and you can see that your website is not even close to that plot of land that you purchased, because you bought a domain, right? That address, you bought that plot of land, has a domain name. You bought it on Namecheap or GoDaddy or Squarespace domains. You bought those things, right? And for those who don't know what Squarespace domains is, Google sold their product to Squarespace. So it used to be called Google Domains, and then Squarespace acquired them, and then the product was sold to Squarespace. That's why it's called Squarespace Domains, right? So just by looking at the big picture, right? If you don't have that domain, because they always say, oh, your domain is parked. Your domain is parked because there's no activity going on, right? When you park your car, there's no activity going on. Even if you turn your car on and you don't drive it, there's no activity. It's just heat, right? So you don't want to burn heat for no reason. right? You don't want to just produce heat for no reason. There has to be a reason why you're burning that oil. So you bring that plot of land that you built and you position that into your domain, like you're creating a pathway into your domain. Once that plot of land is now attached to that domain within the house you've built, the next thing that starts to happen, right, is that you start to have an address. When you have an address, that address now becomes your focal point. So if someone wants to go to this mall, this restaurant, this hotel, this airport, there's an address. There's a unique identification code. There's an address, a virtual address, a physical address. There's an address. Now, that address is going to be your business address. That's why when you have a business account, when you create businesses, when you have social media, when you send emails, there's an email that's attached to an address, right? When you set up a business account, they're going to ask you what's your tax ID. They're going to ask you for your business, your location, your address, even if it's your home address, but it's an address that you can justify that you actually can be in, right? Welcome Soda, welcome ads. When you look at your address, and that address is on Facebook, that address is on Google, it's on Bing, it's on Alexa, it's on Snapchat, it's on TikTok, it's on Microsoft. Now we're talking, because you've decided to take that plot of land that had no attention, and because you want to drive attention to that plot of land, you put up a signpost on top of your house, and then online you create an address that can point people to that location on their phones. It's not rocket science. The problem is your business. The business is not the problem. The positioning is a problem. So when you have a positioning that allows you to get further and closer, I said that for a reason, further away from distraction, further away from not being connected, and closer to actually meeting your ideal client avatar, is when somebody's search matches your title. And then when they click on your title, they find your page. When they find your page, they subscribe to your show, they subscribe to your email list, they subscribe to your community, they leave their first party data, their first name, their email. Those are the things that are going to help you. So if businesses don't create this attention spans for people, it's going to take a while, and somebody's not going to learn. And it takes a while to learn SEO. I understand, but I think it's good to also know what questions to ask as well. I can see in the chat, welcome Soda. I see Prince said, awesome insights. I wish you was still here. Thank you so much for that. These are important tools and resources that can help anyone become positioned to harness opportunities. A lot of work has to be done in the UAE. Oh yeah, that's true. And soon enough, there'll be openings for more marketers all over the world. That's exciting. I gotta follow him back. Yeah, he followed me. So he's an executive chairman, Council of United Arab Emirates. Wow. Okay, I've definitely connected with you, ads. I'm gonna add you back, Prince, as well. Let me see. I just want to make sure I can connect with you guys here. So stay updated on LinkedIn. For those who can stay connected with me on here, we'll be open to working and helping a lot of brands. Yeah, I'll definitely, reach out to him and see what he's about. He doesn't have any socials connected, so I also know that could be a privacy thing, which I totally respect. So we can definitely, connect and see what's up. And also with you ads, I'm interested in getting to know more about SEO. How do I get into it? Great question. I think the first thing is to understand what you want to do with SEO, because SEO is not it's not like a one size fits all, right? SEO is something that you have to look at every day, every single day. Like I do it because I love it. I'm not doing it because I'm trying to win an award or I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to do it because I know if I can tell the world about what I know, and you can do it like I'm doing it, and we can all be on social, we can all be on Google, we can all be on YouTube all together, we have a better place to live, because you offer something I don't, and I offer something you don't. So if you offer someone something that's going to help the community, then I'll be happy to do that, because there's more access to information. I don't gain anything, right? I may gain one thing, but they gain the full package because they gain the information, the access, they gain the relationships, they gain the domain, they gain the authority. It's a beautiful place to be because these agencies will just sell you snake oil and tell you all these things, about what to do, what not to do. And then they leave you handed, stranded, high and dry, paid thousands of dollars, and you've not received one click or one lead. It's bad. It happens, right? So you have to be justified. Another thing that's going to make you justified online for SEO agencies, you have to be certified to some capacity. You have to be certified by something. Either it's LinkedIn certified you for some assessment, or you got certified because you did some program. Like for me now, we're certified with SEMrush, as a digital agency certificate, holder. So that license allows us now to actually teach. I mean, we've been teaching, but now the license just gives you more credibility, right? So it's not like anything is changing, it's just enhanced. It's just, doubled up. So now if an agency comes to us and asks us, hey, what do you do? We'll tell them this is what we do. If we do competitive analysis, research, if you want to do share of voice, if you want to do competitive scoring, if you want to do keyword research, there are so many things. Keyword research is like the basic formula. Once you know what questions people are asking you and you're able to answer them and you're able to share them and then they're able to receive them and you're able to attract them to you so that you can actually get their website, their information, their contact details. Yeah, that's where you start to give a lot of insights too. So it's a really great place to be, but you also have to think about the long-term effect of that as well. Paris says competitive scoring. Yes, that is something that is big. You have to know, like, who are you playing against? The leaders, the marketers, like who are the leaders in your business and what are they leading with? Right. And then from there, you can now lead with something, but you need to score that and know, what are you on? Are you on a D? Are you on a B? Are you on an A? Are you on an F? Where are you? And then from there, we can also, upgrade you, as they all say. So thank you so much for those insights. I'm loving that the chat is also live too. Welcome Nadia, No Carbs, Zood, Adewale, and Mark. You're all welcome to the room. And Austin just jumped in too. Soda, I want to come to you and say hello. And how are you? We'd love to hear from you. And then we come to ads because I want to get to his questions. So Soda, what's going down? How have you been?
Well, I've been working a lot so I could pay for someone to help me with all this SEO and whatever stuff and everything else for my podcast, because it is when you said you love doing, like, there's some interesting things that I love doing that most people hate, but I was just like, I wish I could be fascinated in SEO like you, but it just like stresses me out so much. Except right now I'm in a tricky situation where it's like I've been working full time and then I come home and take care of my child, but now I have no time to like do the little parts that I need to do before I can outsource. So it's like I feel like I either have money but no time, or time but no money. So I'm just trying to figure out the best way to and SEO is definitely something that I know would help improve a lot of stuff regarding the podcast. And I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out all of that. But I have the day off for the rest of the week, so I am just listening to as much wisdom from you as I can.
Thank you, Soda. No, I'm glad that you're here. It's not hard. I mean, for me, it's exciting. I'm like, how is this exciting, Favor? I think it's exciting for me because I love data. I love research. I love looking at graphs. I love looking at analytics. That's just my thing. Even before SEO, I've just always been a nerd with geeking out on data. And then because I have a musical background as a drummer, I read scores. I am able to understand things. I can just look at things and just dice them in a different way. So I now apply the same intellect into SEO and I'm like, oh, it's the same thing. Okay, I just got to mix this and that to make this portion and then I can have this. Okay, voila. All right. So that's how I'm able to process it for me. But for someone who's not doing it consistently, may find it very daunting. And I totally understand because SEO there's so many moving parts. I just feel like the best way to handle SEO and do it is just to understand the basics of what the goal is. Because there's a cycle that I created. If it's on my LinkedIn, if you check my featured section on LinkedIn, there's one thing I talked about with keyword research. I think it's the second or the third carousel slide. And I created a four-wheel cycle. Very easy. SEO stands for these four things. If this doesn't register, please let me know so I can expand on it. SEO is about search, find, click, and save. Once you can be in that cycle where someone can save your post, save your page as a bookmark, there's a reason why, Chrome, Safari, Mozilla, I use Brave browser. These platforms have a section that says bookmarks. There's a reason why. When you book, to you, it may not look like anything is going on, but to the algorithm, that save is big. On social media, that's where they got saved from. Social media, Google has been there before Instagram and Facebook, right? So Google has been there before social media. So Google already had things to talk about saving, searching, finding, clicking. Those things are already activated, they're already happening. Then they took those portions and then brought them into social media. That's why here on Clubhouse, you can save this replay. On LinkedIn, you can save a post now, right? On Pinterest, you can save a pin. On Instagram, you can save a post. Why is this saving so important? Because they know the value of branding. So if you can get people to save your article, save your email, put a star on your email, save it, all these things are metrics, and all these metrics attribute to your business success, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, 72 months, 96 months, however long it is. Those number of months are going to attribute to what you start off from today. So if you kick off and say, hey, I want to do SEO, what does that mean? I need to have a website. I need to be connected to the search engines. I need to write articles that are actually in need of questions and answers. I need to use justification by adding my experience, and I need to share it on social media so I can build a following and also get emails so I can sign up to my community and I can start having paid services, merchandise. The rest goes on and on and on. That, what I just said in maybe 1 or 2 sentences, might take you a decade. It might take you a year. It might take you 6 months. But the bootstrapping from the ground up is to make sure that at least you have your website, you have a domain, you have intellectual property. You have to have a place of protection. You can't be fighting a war without having a home base. You have to have somewhere where people can actually retract, right? If I have to retrace, if I have to come back, if I have to, track back, I need to track back somewhere. So that somewhere is your website. You can be on Instagram all day, but your website needs to be the home page, not your Instagram home page. So there's a difference there. When you think about intellectual property, first party data, where you spend time, where you invest, because everyone says, yeah, money is in the way. Great, me too. But if you think about your community and you think about the number of people searching for your information daily, and you can serve them daily by showing up daily on a platform daily, then you have nothing to lose, because you're going to get traffic, you're going to get people, you're going to impact a lot of people, you're going to change lives, you're going to bless lives, and you're going to be a blessing to other people. But if you sit back and you're like, I don't know if this SEO thing is going to work, it may never work for you because you never tried. That's what I normally tell people, because you may not see anything happen right now, but in the surface, a lot of things are going on. Just like our bodies, like we're a day older, we're a second older. We don't know what our bodies are changing to until a year later or 2 years later. Then we realize, oh, we have muscles now, or we have a beard now, or we can actually, like things start happening. You don't look at yourself every day to see what's changing. That's SEO. You just keep changing. You just keep growing, but make sure that how you're growing, you're putting it on good soil. You're not paying for a domain every year that is not gaining traffic. You're paying every year. You're not getting data back. You're giving them money, and you're losing money and time. So you have to think about those factors when you have to place those things. So that's a great point. Thanks for that. So the ads want to come to you. Thanks for joining today. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know who you are. I don't know if your name is Ads, but please let us know what question you have about SEO. The floor is yours.
Hi, Favour. How you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm good, man. How are you? Welcome.
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, I just wanted some advice on how to get started in SEOs, really, because I'm really curious about the skills that are most important. You know, how to gain practical experience and any resources or steps you would recommend for someone just entering the field. So I met someone recently, and he said it does this and it gives him a lot of time. So I'm wanting to look into it as a career path. That's the way I'm looking at it as. So I just wanted some advice on how to get into it.
Great question. So let me ask you this, because this will help me a lot. So before I change the link, sorry, I'm trying to get this question done in the right way, because I want to help you expand on your knowledge base on SEO. When you learn something new, how do you like to learn information for the first time? Is it through audio, video, text? How do you acquire information?
Visuals better.
Visuals. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I have something for you. I have a demystifying SEO 3-hour course. So what I'll do is, because before you even get into the course, I would love to know what you'd want to learn from there, because it's one thing to send you to a platform and just to, read or watch, but I also want to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Now, SEO wise, before I even go to this next point, because I have 2 courses I'm thinking of now that I said this. What are you doing SEO for? Is it for businesses? Is it for music, entertainment? What capacity are you trying to
I'm
get
looking
to?
at businesses.
Businesses. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So about the business, how do you want to conduct SEO for the business? Is this something you want to do by yourself, with a team? How do you want to process it so when they talk to you, you can run the business smoothly?
So I'm just getting into it, and I don't really have a hang of how the whole SEO thing works. I've got a very basic idea about it. So I'm just thinking, the way I'm thinking about it is, maybe I don't know how possible it is. I don't know if it works in the industry yet, but maybe starting something up for myself and then being able to help businesses, get that traffic, something like that.
Okay. I love that. So I will say this. I have a podcast, and I just put the link at the top.
Okay.
When you click this link, it will take you to where you put your first name and email, so that when you get the emails that we're sending, you'll get emails from me too, specifically. And those emails will also help you understand how SEO works, because you may not be able to learn SEO in a day.
Okay.
And I'm not going to promise you and tell you that you're going to learn SEO from just this room alone, because that would be lying to you, and I don't want to do that. So when you get in here, you'll listen to the topics. We talk about SEO as well. Then once you put in your contact information on this website, at the very top, you're going to see a search bar. That
Okay.
search bar is going to lead you to a text box that will allow you to type in. So you type in there SEO, and then once you type SEO, all the episodes that I've talked about on SEO all over the podcast, we have over 400 podcasts, but the ones that have SEO attached to the name, all the way back to, I'm actually scrolling all the way back to 2020, January 16th, 2020. That's the first time I talked about SEO on my podcast, and we're 5 years in now. So if you listen to those episodes or go through them, I'm sure 100% you're going to get a lot of insight. And if you want to, get connected, we're connected here on Clubhouse, so that anytime you have a question, you can feel free to ask me. And then that way, if you also want to learn SEO, extensively, I would also want to know basis on how you want to do it. Is it through, teamwork? Because we also offer internships too for our business. So those are some things and areas I'm looking at. I'm like, okay, you really want to learn this thing, but how are you going to apply it? And if you're doing it for your business, how long will it take you to acquire this information? Are you a fast learner? I don't know those things yet. So I'm
Yeah, I
just trying to give
understand.
you a good way. Yeah. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good. So I'd already checked the podcast. I would start from the very beginning, listen to it, and if I need any other thing, I could maybe just message you and see how it goes.
Amazing. Awesome. Where you located?
Okay.
In the UK.
Nice. Okay. Awesome. Now, thank you so much, Ads, for
All
joining
right,
us
thank you so
today.
much.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is great, guys. I'm glad we have these talks, and it helps a lot of people, get to know how to handle SEO, what to do, because not everyone knows the answers to, all the questions. But also, when you know the right questions to ask, then it becomes easier for your business to thrive long term. So this is some things that I've seen over time, and just by understanding the value of SEO, it really builds into the graph. Liverpool, are you back? I want to ask you something about SEO. Okay. Let me know when you're back. All right. So the threads, I'm going into threads a little bit. Threads, podcast, and SEO. What have you been seeing on threads that has been ringing? Because I also see some things too, but I want to know what you've been seeing because I know you're on threads too.
Well, I find most of my podcasts through threads lately. I see a lot of people saying like, oh, send me your recommendations for this type of podcast. And then everyone puts in their recommendations. And, if it's a subject that I like psychology, I'm like, oh, wow, look at all these psychology podcasts. And it's cool because you feel the connection with the host because you could just be like, oh, I listened to this episode about such and such. And they get really excited, like, oh, I'm so glad you liked it. And just, that host is going to be, responsive if they're active on threads and posting in those kind of, commenting on those kind of posts. So those are my thoughts.
I love that because I noticed the same thing too on threads. People are more receptive to, like, even if they don't know you, they'll just talk to you like they do know you. And because of the tag and the connections, they'll want to actually make sure that they feel connected to you even closer. So you get follows, people start following you, they start posting your content, they start liking it, then they'll follow you on Instagram. It's like a ricochet. That's what I've noticed. You end up connected with someone on threads and then on Instagram, and then before you know it, they're on your email list or you're getting on a Zoom call. So those are things to look out for too, because those are places that you also want to be on, right? Go on threads and write in there and say, hey guys, what SEO experiences have you had? Just put it out there and see what you're going to get back. You'll be surprised at how people will be so responsive to your question, because people want to share. They want to learn, they want to get more information, and they want to, get you to a point where you can connect too. Now, another thing that you need to ask, this is funny because I just thought about the whole process. SEO agencies will not tell you this, right? And you need to ask them these questions because these are things that also would help you understand. It sounds like it's very basic, but this is something that either could make or break your business. And this is from a long-term perspective, right? Make sure that the SEO agency that you are working with or you potentially want to work with, right, has a LinkedIn company profile, because that is a great way for, and especially if they know SEO, they should be on LinkedIn, period. Just because LinkedIn is where you have author authority and company authority. Jobs are found on LinkedIn. So why is your company not on LinkedIn? Right? As a company page, not as a profile page. So if you have a company page and it's an SEO agency or digital marketing agency, they need to have that. So when you're doing your research, they may not tell you. You can just show up and say, hey, let me check your social media. Let me type you on LinkedIn. Are you there? Are you not there? If you're there, how many followers do you have? Because it's hard to get followers on LinkedIn to start off, and then it's hard to get followers on a company page to begin with. Like, why would I follow your company page? that kind of thing. So it's very hard unless you're working there, right? Or unless you're a really big fan of the company. But for you to get even 10 followers, 100 followers, it takes work. I mean, you can always, send credits, earn credits, do all those things. But for them to even reward that credit, it means they have to accept the offer, accept the invitation. So it's also conditional. It doesn't give you a natural green bean that, oh yeah, because I sent 250 requests, I'm going to get 250 followers. No, it might happen over time, but that's not guaranteed either. So if you're trying to benchmark to get a certain number, I always like to add a zero, because that zero allows you to stretch beyond your limits. And if I need to get that, it makes sense. If I want to sell this $1 product, I need to spend at least $10 a day to get there. So that way I'm able to not just focus on the one, but I have a leverage over the other, so I can have equity over time. So building those relationships over time allows you to feel closer to the person that's actually helping you, right? These SEO agencies, if they're not on LinkedIn company profiles and they don't have those things, are they active, right? If they have a podcast, even better. Do they have their LinkedIn RSS feed connected to their LinkedIn company profile? Those are some questions to ask, right? You don't have to be on LinkedIn per se, but it's just a good way. So when your business is searched on Google, you end up on that listing. When you think about businesses, brick and mortar businesses, you have to be within a listing. You have to be within a listing. If you're not on that listing, you're not there, because people are trying to find you. People are trying to connect with you. Do you know how many listings are in the world? There's a lot. I think right now, from what I see, right now I'm working on it right now. Ooh, let me just say this right now. Cuckoo, I'll hit you up later, but we've just submitted you to Uber Eats, to Uber, to Siri, to Nextdoor, to Better Business Bureau, to Apple, to American Express, to Amazon Alexa. Now you're connected on Waze. Yeah, so, and we're going to Yellow Pages very soon. I'm just scrolling down my list as we speak. So yeah, Cuckoo is an amazing person. She has an amazing beauty supply store. And if you're in the DMV area, please make sure you tap into the Cuckoo's Beauty Supply Store. You'll get some really cool stuff there as well. So I'm just saying that because I'm looking at my SEMrush right now and I'm just like, oh, this is so exciting. When you think about connections and building and making sure that people are, within those listings, it's big. When you're connected to one listing as an agency, or you're helping other businesses, you have to show some type of proof like, hey, we had X number of followers, now we have XX number of followers. It used to cost X much, now it costs XXX much, right? Those numbers make sense. When you look at dollar signs, you know how they give you dollar signs, or it's an international platform. So if you see pounds, euros, any other currency, when you put $1 or €1 or £1, that one symbol represents the value, right? When you put 2, 3, 4, 5, it tells you. When you go to a restaurant, let's say you go to Google search and you're going to see, okay, which restaurant am I going to eat at? The number of currency signs determines the value, or determines the amount of money you're going to spend. If I want to go to a Mediterranean restaurant and it gives me $3 signs because I'm in the US, then I know, okay, this might cost me $100, $200. If I'm with two people, I just budget for that at the very least. I mean, I can have way less than, I can just have water, but at least let me know I have a disposable amount that if anything is to happen, I can pay for that conveniently, right? If you have that has, $2 signs or $4 signs, it's up to you. When you book a hotel, you're booking based on the signs, you're booking based on the numbers. So all these things allow you to understand, okay, am I there? Am I visible? Can I be connected? Am I on this listing? Am I disconnected, or am I connected? Then once you're connected, these SEO agencies allow you to build these things out, right? Some SEO agencies don't even put you on a heat map. I don't know if you know what that is. A heat map. You need to have a heat map on your website, because I need to know how far down are they scrolling, which is a hot zone, which is a cold zone, which is a warm zone. Those are things that you can't decide unless it's installed. So when you get that installation done, it's like installing an AC unit, or installing, something in your house. when you install something, you're installing it because it's going to last forever. Not, I mean, forever is inevitable, right? But it's going to last for a very long time, enough time for the worth you paid for, right? So when you look at the long-term effect and ask, hey, do you have a marketing stack? Have you worked with other people? Do you have, what's your tools? What do you use? You know, what are the platforms that you're connected to? Do you even have a list? Do you have a community? Are you on social media? Are you just selling SEO agency oil because you just want to do a SEO, or because it's new thing in town, or because you actually want to help people? That's the real question. Because with SEO, you have to pay for some things. These things are not free, right? We're paying for these reports, we're paying for studies, we're paying for dashboards, we're paying for worksheets. We're paying for these things because we're working with them. Even if it's AI, you're paying for these things. I have a whole AI staff that I have a whole year payment on, that I'm able to actually connect. If I have a Gmail account, I tested it out with a friend of mine 2 days ago. My AI sent an email on my behalf in front of her, and I said, hey, respond back to this email with this. And Emmy did that. She just responded back with the AI in front of her. I didn't touch a dial. I just said, hey, respond back to this email, prompt it, and she got an email in her inbox. So things are changing. Things are changing right before our eyes, and I'm just watching I'm watching my AIs grow. They're like babies. I'm like, oh, you can do this now. Oh, you can do this now. Oh, wow. Asking if anyone has anything to say, questions before we wrap up. Just wanted to like be quiet and just hear from anyone.
I think it might be one of those things where, because sometimes you're like, it feels very overwhelming in the beginning, no matter how much it's broken down. But when you have your own way of kind of getting into SEO information, because we all have different learning patterns and we all have different things that excite us. And I think if we each like find our own thing that excites us about SEO, I think that might help with some of the intimidation. I don't know, I'm speaking for myself.
That's a good one. I like that. Yeah, I think the fun part of SEO, if you look at it, is, will my message reach the right people? Would my title get the right attention? And will my website also drive the right traffic? If you can answer those three questions and they're all yes, 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 then I think it would be good to be on there for a while. David, anything you'd like to add?
I'm just I'm working here and I'm listening. I'm actually doing SEO on my computer as we're here in this room, and I'm listening. This is great stuff. I have just one question, Favor. A lot of the SEO that I do know, I've learned it over time listening to you, and your instruction and your mentoring and all that good stuff. I guess I have one question. If there is anything that pushes the needle in SEO that you see, okay, this is the must, what would you say it would be? I mean, you talked about, SEO is not only about blogging, right? But connecting your website to search console. But is there something that you can say right here, this is it, that really pushes the needle? What would that be?
That's a good question. I think the one thing that will push the needle. Okay, let me put it this way. It's going to be a one-to-many attack. So the one-to-many attack is going to be, it's going to be like left hook, right hook. So first thing is, have a website that's secure, great. Second thing now is distribute. Distribute. What do I mean? Distribute your website on different platforms, on different arrays, on different mediums. If you're featured somewhere, let people know about that. Hey, we have a website. That's going to move the needle. If you have 200 followers, 500 followers, 2,000 followers, 5,000 followers, whatever the number is, let them know. Use what you already have, right? Use what you already have and build it. It's actually interesting that you asked this question, because I was doing a Bible study earlier today, and I was like, "Oh, this is so interesting," because I got this. It's called the Good and Beautiful Bible Study, something like that. I've been seeing it online, and I got it. And the first thing I read was about the 5,000, how like Jesus turned the five, loaves into 5,000 loaves. We always talk about those 5 loaves and 2 fishes, right? But the way it was described, it was so different. I'll say this in like less than 60 seconds, and I hope this helps anybody listening. The first thing that Jesus did was not even to feed them. He had compassion on them. It means he had an emotion attached to it, right? So if there's an emotion attached to it, then you need to know, what is the cry of the people? What do people need you for, right? Then from there, he taught them, because it was already, at some point, he taught them to a point where they lost appetite. Check my Instagram story to see the story I'm talking about. And it made so much sense because it was so much deeper into the layers. And he taught them before he even fed them. And before he fed them, he thanked God for the provision. And he asked the disciples, hey, use what you have. Like, because they were like, should we go and buy this thing so we can get this for them? No, use what you have. So what do you have right now in your hand? You have a voice, you have a name, you have a website. And now what you use is what you have, you distribute. So you send it to, if you start a podcast, submit it to Apple, submit it to Spotify, submit it to Amazon, submit your listing. If you have a brick and mortar, submit it. If you don't know how to submit it, get someone to help you submit those things. But those are the questions to ask. So when you ask an SEO agency, hey, can you do my SEO? You're internally asking them, you're indirectly asking them, can you make me visible outside my scope? Because everyone has a scope. You have a business, you have a location, everyone's driving there, so cool. But if that driving turns into an actual lead that turns into a sale, and that returning visitor becomes another visitor that brings another visitor in, then you're on your way to success. So these are some things you have to think about as a business. So what's going to move the needle? What you already have, and then use what you have and answer the questions, and then put it on a medium that can actually share that information out there. Does that help, David?
Yes, 100%. Thank you so much. That was great.
Thanks, David. Liverpool, we're about to wrap up, so I wanted to come to you and check in with you before we go.
Sorry, Favour. I was on a I was on a call, so I was mostly out of this room. But I'll definitely check out the replays and everything like that. So, yeah, that's what I will say, to be honest. Yeah, thank you, Favour.
Thank you. Appreciate that. There's something you said earlier. Was asking, were you in Rocky's room on the chat about funneling? I
Yeah.
wasn't there.
Yeah, that was a very good room. That was very insightful room. And she was talking about creating this fun big massive sales funnel and everything like that. It was on Chatter. And she was going through all the steps and making sure that everything was really nicely, nice and smooth and everything like that. And she gave a few examples. She gave a presentation about her free book and etc. It was a very good room. It's a shame that you actually missed it, but it was a very good room.
Yeah, I was busy. I had a couple of meetings to be on. So when I'm on Clubhouse, I like being on Clubhouse, but if I have meetings to be at, I just don't show up online, because I'm just going to end up in a room and I won't leave. So I want to make sure I respect people's time as well. So I'm glad I heard about that. You've told me that. I'll check the replay and listen to it. But Rocky's
No,
amazing.
it was on Chatter. I don't know if they've got replay on Chatter. That's the thing. But yeah, they might do. But I'm not entirely sure. Favour. Sorry to interrupt.
You're fine. Okay. It's on chat. Oh yeah, she did. She is on chat a lot. So I'll check in. I know she has it in the morning. I just haven't had a chance to be there because we have the same time as well. But thank you for that. Appreciate that. Shout out to you, Rocky. Love all the things that she does. Amazing. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. This was a good room. I'm glad I covered this. Listen to the questions. Know what SEO agencies want to tell you and what they need to tell you. There's a difference between that, and you need to know what to ask. So when they respond back, you know how to respond and get to know, okay, are they yes or are they no? If they're no, then get the next person. If they're yes, pay that investment. Invest in yourself. Invest in your business. The same way you invested in your company, invest in SEO so that you can actually get your rewards, because that's how people are going to find you. You're going to pay money for ads, rather pay time and actually invest in quality so that you can get consistent traffic and get consistent leads, so that when you do pay for that traffic, you're paying on the leverage of you being the person that actually gets more, because you've been showing up more organically before you end up paying a service. So thanks for that. I appreciate that. Thanks again, David. And thanks for being here. Liverpool Soda, David, thanks again for being here. Jason, Cuckoo, Harris, Austin, Richard, Sack Black, Adewale, and Stack. Appreciate you, man. I'm about to wrap up the room. God bless you all. Have a blessed and wonderful Thursday. I'm going to catch you guys soon. If you have reached this point of the episode, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show. I hope this has helped you, given you some insight, because every time I come on here, or anytime I bring somebody on here, a guest, a speaker, anyone that is of relevance to you listening, is always going to give you educational value, definitely entertainment value, and most importantly, empowerment value. So thank you for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show every day. And if you want to reach out to me, you know where to find me. Click the links in the description, or go to info@playinc.online, info@playinc.online, and book a call. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk SEO. Let's talk marketing. Let's talk business. Let's talk scaling. And I look forward to meeting you and learning more about you and your business. Till we meet in the next episode, have a blessed evening. Have a blessed day, night, wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye for now. And don't forget, Jesus loves you.